Hi friends, it's Linda. It has been quite a while since I've made my last video, and I am back for my first video in 2022, and it is a flip through of the black and white altered book journal that I made during the month of December and until I guess I just finished it up a couple of days ago. It was more involved and a little more challenging than I realized it was going to be. I'm going to show it to you here. I tried very hard to keep the gator mouthing to a minimum because it's a journal that is meant to be used and added to, and I wanted there to be plenty of opportunity to add to it. So I used this journal I created all of the ephemera for this black and white altered book journal during December by following the Defember daily prompt list that Luis Heinzl and Barbara from 49 Dragonflies led, and that was so fun. And honestly, I know that I would not have been able to come up with all of the ephemera that I ended up having for this journal, for this book, had it not been for that program. So it was a labor of love, a labor of fun, and anyway, this is the finished result, and it is going into my Etsy shop. And my Etsy shop is VintageJoysAndJewels on Etsy, and it should be there within a day or so. I just have to finish the actual still photography and get it listed. So I'm going to stop chatting about it and get into it and show you the finished product. So as I said, it was a hardback book from the Dollar Tree, and the book itself was so cool that I decided it was all black and white. I decided to keep it that way, and so I added 2 different kinds of seam binding lace trim, black and white, for the ties, and I covered the spine. I left the spine on the book. I didn't change the cover at all, other than to collage the front, and I added this fun fabric. I actually found this fabric on a trip, a vacation that we took to Colorado Springs, Colorado. And I walked into this wonderful little shop and found a little basket of odds and ends, remnants of fabrics, and I found this and fell in love with it. It's just a tiny little piece, and it ended up being just the perfect spine cover for this. It was hard to use it a little bit, but I really want to use things I have and not hoard. So it's a favorite fabric. I also created a dangle for the front, for the cover. It is made from a Tim Holtz trinket pin, and I was a beader years back, and I still have lots of beads left, so I pulled out a few black and whites and made some dangles. And this little circle here was an original decoration on the book, and I added this little adorable, one of my favorite new rubber stamps. It's from Red Lead Paperworks, and it's this adorable little girl. I thought she looked cute, and some scrapbook paper there. Okay, so I hope that I can get the whole book in this shot. Okay, so this was the original inside cover, and I added this piece of vintage wallpaper to create a pocket and a library card. And I used a This might have originated with Tim Holtz, this die that's like a vintage, oh, what do you call those little things that used to have slides in them that you could, Viewmaster slide, I think that's what it's called. And these are two cigarette, oops, see, I'm sorry, I bumped you. Goodness, I'm sorry. Okay, so two cigarette card, pieces of ephemera that I created during the Ephemera, and I tuck them in here. Okay. It's been a while. I am very new on my channel, is very new, and I don't have the best of equipment, so I apologize in advance for some of my limitations here in showing this journal to you. This was probably my favorite piece that I created, and it was uses some tea elements and a one of Luis Heinzl's digitals. So basically, in an altered book journal, it involves removing a lot of pages, creating a lot of pockets. You're a bit limited in that regard, and so that's basically what you're going to see are a lot of pockets. And this page here is some collage. This was an original element to the book. I thought that was fun, quirk books, so I left that. And this is another Ephemera piece that I created. It's a 2022 simple calendar here, and I put some fun charms and some lace to the top, and it tucks in this very first pocket here. So if you want to use this for your yearly journal, you've got a handy calendar in the front there. Okay, and then this is another journaling card that I created from a vintage postcard. It says, "Still round the corner there may wait a new road or a secret gate," from J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay, and some scrapbook paper. I used lots of gesso on some of the pages that I did leave to just cover up some of the writing. And another just little collage here. And this is a pocket that is, if you can tell, a little triangular pocket. And this was another tag that I created. It's a tag and a tag. And it's got this sweet little girl again, and a napkin that forms a pocket in the front. So it's a tag and a tag. And I have that just tucked right in here. The nice thing about this is you can rearrange the ephemera. You can add so much of your own to it. There are so many pockets, I couldn't even fill them all. So lots of potential here. This was another postcard that I made into a journaling card. It says, "On a Wing and a Prayer." And it's just tucked in the side here. So there's top pockets, there's side pockets, there's triangular pockets. Another bit of collage, and this was another card that I created in Ephemera that I loved. It's got another red lead paperworks rubber stamp image and a bit of collage, and tucks into that pocket there. Just some writing, black and white writing paper. This is a top pocket that is currently empty. You can rearrange pieces or add your own. This is some tissue paper that I used to cover that page. This is another of the Ephemera pieces that I created. It goes into the side pocket here. And I also used some black and white ledger to cover some of the book pages, but as you can see, the book has so many decorative black and white pages that it was just screaming to become an altered book journal. I just was so in love with this book, and of course, you know, there's Dollar Trees everywhere, and I could only find one of these books, or I probably would have bought a few and maybe even put them, I don't know, just made more journals or kept one as it was, because it was just a great book. And I never did find another copy. So this is it's just a journal card that I made out of a paint sample. And this is a top pocket. And this is one of my Ephemera pieces. This was a snow woman and doily. Ooh. On the, were the prompts for that day. So I created this very unique little snow lady tag. And she's got a pocket in the back. You could put some writing paper or whatever you would like. And she is just tucked into the top here with her lace tab sticking out. Sorry for reaching. And some scrapbook paper here. And here is a triangular pocket, and I just placed a blank recipe card in there. And this pocket here holds a tag that I've had in my stash forever. No idea where it came from. This is a little page tab that I created in the Ephemera. Some more writing space. These are two pockets here. This pocket has an index card and washi tape, Ephemera prompt with journaling space on the back. And it's tucked in here. And there's an empty pocket over here for whatever you might choose to put in there. On this side is a collaged little side band that I made. It was a magazine. The prompts were magazine. And so all of these are just black and white little images and words and stuff that I tore out of art magazines that I have. This was one of the prompts. It was something silver or sparkly button, vintage buttons, and something sparkly or silver maybe. I'm trying to remember. Or coffee, maybe. This little part of a paint sample here has the name coffee on it, so I think coffee might have been part of that. Yep, and I put a little coffee cup button that I made there. So I think coffee might have been one of the prompts that day, but it's basically a fun journal card. Okay, moving along, I created this fabric flip and this little fabric element. It's got a bit of collage in it. I'll get you a little closer to that little collage that I made on there. It's got an owl postage stamp and another postage stamp and a couple of my favorite fabrics there. And I just absolutely love this fabric here. I tried to use it in the book as much as I could. Here are a couple more of the ephemera. I hope I didn't get myself out of... There we go. Sorry about that. Another couple of ephemera pieces that I created. This says Goody Two Shoes. It's an altered playing card, and I'm from St. Louis. I've lived here all of my life. So this is a vintage St. Louis playing card. So whoever gets this journal, you'll have a little bit of my hometown as well. St. Louis, Missouri. We are right smack dab in the middle. Okay, and this is another little card that I made that out of a paint chip sample and some of Barbara's freebie stars that she shared with us, and a rubber stamp. Okay. And this is just a large blank card that you could add some paper and journal on. And this is an element from the Ephemera. It has a magnetic close. It's a tea bag envelope. And inside I've added a package of Bigelow Earl Grey black tea for you to enjoy while you're journaling. And I just tucked it into the pocket. And when you close this, it actually will hold. The magnet will hold through the paper. Okay. And then this is a belly band, fabric belly band that I created, and a journal card. I have, whoops, sorry about that. I have some vintage yearbooks from the 40s that I absolutely love to create with. So I added, it's just the most adorable kids you can imagine from the 40s on the back of this card. I love to use yearbook pages. As you can see, here's some fun class photos from the 40s from a yearbook page. And this is some more just writing space. Oh, I did it again. Let me make sure I'm back in the frame. Okay, and then in this pocket, I tucked yet another cigarette card, little journal card. And this, I love this page from this book here. And oops, I forgot to trim that. Sorry. This is this pocket. I kind of went with the pattern in on the page, and I cut a triangular opening. And here I will just trim that little section out so that it is open there. But this is the back side. It's just a vellum, some vellum words, a little bit of Luis Heinzl's adorable digital, and a little collage there. This was one of my favorite elements that I created in Ephemera, and I couldn't find the perfect spot for it in this journal, so I'm going to leave that up to the recipient to use it however. But it is a CD envelope, and it can tuck, you know, over the side of a page, flip over the side of a page, and on the inside is a card. And I used all the little bits of the different papers and added them to the mushroom. These are the different papers that I've used throughout the book. And then on the back is some journaling space. And it will tuck right in here. Easier said than done, right? When you're on camera, everything's fiddly. Okay. And it can go anywhere in the journal. It can flip over a page, over the top of a page. But I'm just going to tuck it into a pocket. And you can use it there. You can put it somewhere else if you end up making this journal your own. Here is another fabric flip. And it also has some charms and crystals dangling from it. I'll show you those. Get close. And then there's just space for, I'm going to do this every time I show you something. I'm going to have to readjust for 5 minutes afterwards. Room for journaling underneath. This is another side pocket here that is currently vacant. ready for you to add some of your own something or other to it. This is a top page. I'm sorry, more reaching. Gotta love it. So a top pocket. So something can go in there. There's not currently anything in there. But on this back side is an altered envelope that I made. And you can, I stenciled the inside of it, so it's a little bit hard to see where the opening of the envelope is. But the envelope opens, you can see. So you can put something inside of it and close the envelope. I also left this part of it open so you can tuck journaling or whatever behind it. And then the actual page, as I showed you originally, is also a large pocket. So lots of pocketage going on there. Okay, and then this page has this Edelweiss flower and little quote, "Bloom and grow forever" from the Edelweiss song. It was a frost flower, I believe, was the prompt for that day, and that is a favorite song and favorite movie of mine. So I created that. Love this paper with the stars. It was one of the original book parts of the book page. Then I created this little side tuck here. It's collaged with the rubber stamp, not a rubber stamp, a postage stamp, and some staples and some favorite papers. And I just have a plain card in there for journaling. This is this was one of the book pages, and so I don't want to shake because I'm afraid I'll be shaking you till the cows come home. But this is a shaker page. There's some pretty, whoop, I am shaking you, I'm sorry. There's some sequins in there, iridescent black and clear sequins in there. I just thought that was a fun, just a fun thing to do. Okay, let me make sure I am still in, there we go. This page, I have 2 handmade envelopes that I created from torn book pages, actually torn pages from this book, and decorated them with some rub-ons and some little medallion die cuts. And on this side is a large side pocket. This is a seed packet that I made using one of Luis Heinzl's most adorable little images. How cute is that little raccoon? And tucked into, this was really a collaboration with Barbara and Louisa, because Barbara in her morning video showed us how to make a seed packet out of paper, so I did that. And then Louisa in the afternoon showed this little guy in whatever she was making that day, and so I found him for that. Used her little raccoon for the decor. And then these are some tickets that I made, also in the Ephemera. And the pocket, you can use the actual seed packet envelope, or you can also, so it's a 2-way pocket, you can also use behind it as a tuck spot or a pocket. Okay, kind of losing my words there. And then we're at the back. This is just a page for journaling, and the last page in the book. I left the index, and I left this untouched. This is the actual original back cover of the book. You can add anything you'd like to it, but I felt that I had reached the maximum capacity that I wanted to in terms of how wide mouth this got, so that whoever used the journal could also have space to add to it. And I guess one thing I had wanted to say, I know it's unusual, and just to have a journal be black and white, and I've never created a journal that was just black and white before, but you can add your favorite colors and make this a very colorful journal. You can add like sepia elements, also go nicely in here. But if you love pink or red or orange or turquoise or whatever your favorite color is, this book, although it's decorated and you can use it as it is and you can keep it in this black and white theme, you can add pops of color that would just absolutely make this journal explode and make it your own, with whatever your favorite colors are, or a rainbow of favorite colors. So it was just really fun to put together, a different experience. I learned a lot in terms of how to construct a journal like this from a from a book. And anyway, look for this to reach my Etsy store. And also, now that it is finished, I am in the process of making some my little small holiday journals that I make. So I'm making a couple of Valentine journals and some green kind of Celtic-ish or just green spring journals for March. And I'm also doing Junk Journal January, so I've got that going. So lots more to share with you in upcoming videos. But thank you for taking the time to watch this. And thank you to all of my subscribers. My little tiny channel is growing a little bit, and I appreciate that. And you take care. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye now.